This is activity 31. It's called stretch, and it gets a lot of these pot holder loops in a bag so that when everything's packed, it looks like so. So there are 10 of each of 6 colors. I want to point out that our jigs are not going to look the same for our different employees. And in this case, we have this, which looks like it might be an art piece. But really what it is they're coated with the actual material for each color, and there are 10 little cups. So that for several of our people, they put one blue loop in each of these containers, making a total of 10. And when they have each of these containers filled up with these colors, they then take their bag and they can put each of these in there, thus ending up with what's in this bag. It may seem labor intensive, but this is what works. Now we have another person who does it in a slightly different way. He can retain information much better, and he can read, and he understands numbers. So we have 10 yellow loops and 10 blue loops and on down. He starts at the top, he takes these bins, and he can pull out the 10 yellow loops, puts them in the circle. Once he's counted out 10, he puts them in the bag, and then comes down to the 10 blue, puts them in the circle, puts them in the bag, and so forth on down until he has all the loops in the bag. So again, you can see 2 very different ways of doing it, and yet they both meet the ability level of each of those individuals and allows them to be independent and also successful in packaging Shoebox Task 31, the activities. A number of our Shoebox Task lids require Velcro as part of their design. For those of us who are not intimidated by the abstract, we can easily take Velcro, use our plate like so, and place the Velcro somewhere between this imprint and the edge of the lid, and have lid number 12 with the Velcro where it's supposed to be. However, we have employees with autism where that very same job becomes a big challenge because of the abstract nature of it. Because of that, we've created what's called the press. We use the same plate, however this time we use the structure of the press, put it on, and then the activity becomes a matching activity. We match the Velcro onto the plate, and we place the lid and match the openings to the opening. And then it's a matter of closing the lid, pressing gently. And there we have the very same lid with the Velcro in the right places. And we've taken a job that normally would be out of the realm of individuals with autism, and we've created it as part of their job description, and we've expanded that which they're doing in our shop. In our workshop, we provide numerous visual instructions for employees with autism to be successful with the jobs that they have before them. In this case, this is the visual instruction for putting the containers together that go with our basic curriculum set. And in and of itself, it looks rather busy. However, once we take an individual through this a number of times, it enables them to develop the routine for putting these containers together, and a routine over time becomes a strategy. Let me take you through this once. So we'd ask and we'd show in the beginning, person or employee to match, simple match. First the literature, the lids, T8 cups, all the supplies are within reach. So it becomes a simple match. However, we're showing the procedure in a very definite way. So we want to do it the same way every time, because that's what will become the routine. So once everything is matched in its place, we go back, and we have arrows pointing to how the containers are stacked. Once everything is stacked from top to bottom, then we work left to right. The literature goes in the container, the lids on top. This goes in here. It's reversed. Stack, stack. Once we have all our containers stacked, they need to be taped. We do this by taking our tape. We have a measurement, a visual measurement for our tape. We start the one red dot, roll it out to the other. It's the length of our tape. And with our pen, we have an outline that we can follow to denote the middle of the tape. So take our tape, match the middle with the opening, bring it down, and there we have all our containers that goes with our basic set to our customers. So you can see that a visual instruction of this complexity, when demonstrated to an individual with autism consistently the same way every time, becomes a routine, which then becomes a strategy enabling them to be successful. Red buttons in water has proven itself to be a high-interest activity with many young children with autism. The action of the button floating through the water grabs their interest and often opens the door for them to be doing something for the first time. They'll want to see that same action happen by doing it themselves. Now, when you have a high-interest activity such as this, you can use it to their advantage as well as your own by creating a first-then situation. You take an activity that's of less interest, one that perhaps they've resisted doing in the past, you place it before them. You place the high-interest activity, in this case the red buttons in water, you place it within their sight but out of reach. And you establish a connection to this student. First work, then you get to play with red buttons in water. And you may not start out with 5 blocks, you may just start out with 1 block. The important point is that they get to do one activity. And they first must do one activity successfully before they get the red buttons in water back, which they enjoy doing. So it's a question of first work and then play. And it can open the door to the learning process whereby over time you extend the amount of work that they do in order to get what they really want. Much of the visual structure currently in place in our environment has been the result of trial and error. Ongoing modifications to jigs, physical layout, and the materials within the environment itself are a necessary part of that process for expanding the nature of the work in relation to the individual employees. This is the exciting part of a vocational workshop. By paying attention to the strengths and interests of the worker, one also enhances the vitality and strength of that business. A win-win situation for all. One of our employees said recently that what made him feel good about his job was that the activities he packed were going all over the world to help young kids with autism. He liked being part of that process.